Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Well, happy Wise Women's Wednesday. I already see Wise Women. There's Vanessa and Flynn and Denise and Jocelyn. Hello. Aren't you happy to be here on a Wednesday? I sure am. I love our Wise Women's Wednesday. Terry says she's ready for it. So's Margot. So's Jane. Jocelyn. Hello. Danelle's back again. Catherine. Good to see you. Oh, Carol's here. Hey. Are you ready for to rock and roll Hoochie Coo? Remember that song? Anyone? Doris? Doris knows that song. I know she does. Listen, y'all, I am ready. And I'm also ready for Thursday night because we've got things happening. Hey there, Michelle, Diane, Carla. Look at all of you just all showing up, looking all sweet and wonderful. Helen, Francesca, Debbie. Can you just see who's all here? Can you see it all? Look at them all. Margot's doing a couple of things at one time. You could do this, by the way. You could go for a walk for the whole show. Think about the steps you'd get in. What a good idea. Do you know we have a great quote of the week? And this quote of the week we love so much we put it on a mug. And the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to bloom, to blossom, really. When we say living our lives in full bloom, isn't this such a beautiful cup? Yep, we've got those. We've got those in the shop. Today is, of course, Wise Women's Wednesday. And you know, wise women get stuff done. Wise women are women who have their eye on their lives and how they can bless others and become more of who they're supposed to be so that their purpose is fulfilled. We're not here on accident. We're here on purpose and for a purpose. And that's basically our theme for this whole week and for this whole life, right? For our whole lives. We've got books. Boy, have we got books. I'm glad you can't actually see me. I want to see you, Kimberline. What are you doing? I'm glad you're here, Kimberline. Hey, listen, I'm all dressed, right? I'm dressed, ready to rock and roll. So's Brenda. She's here. She says she's late, but she's here. I'm glad you're here. That's the most important part. Here we go. Look, Getting Off the Carousel of Crazy. These two books, this is the book and the workbook. They go together like a hand in glove to help you to get off the carousel of crazy, not just unplug, but get off, kick the thing down the cliff and never to return. This is really about how we as women have been hypnotized since our younger years into a diet culture where they rob us blind and make us feel less than. It's not the way it is supposed to be. As a matter of fact, what I want you to do is to stop even looking at the scale. You know, yeah, we do the sprint and we measure and we do all of this stuff just to get an idea of. But what I want you to do is to start living your best clean life, your best, most vibrant life. And that comes with good fuel. It comes with a little movement, hydrating, sleeping well, having good, healthy relationships, all of that stuff. And tomorrow night, let me just tell, and by the way, you can find that book at savingdinner.com/crazy. I highly recommend it. We're getting some really good reviews here. And I highly recommend you too, join us tomorrow night if you have the journal. Got to have the journal. The Take Back Your Life journal for a workshop on how to slay the rest of this year. You know, just because the holidays are here, really essentially they are. We're getting ready for all of them, aren't we? And by the way, on our YouTube channel, we have everything you need to know about Thanksgiving, including all the recipes that you have, dearly beloved recipes for 25 years. So, you know, check it out. They're there. Everything is there. They're from a long time ago. You're going to see a heavier Leanne there, by the way, doing all those recipes for you. But you know what? Those recipes are the same. They have not moved in how many years? How many years? So check them out. You can find it right here on the Saving Dinner channel on YouTube, youtube.com/Saving Dinner. That's where they all are. We will have the Thanksgiving menu mailer available for you with all its various versions shortly. I believe we'll be putting it on this later on this week. You will also find us on TikTok. You will also find us on Instagram. And all you have to do is put in, TikTok.com/Saving Dinner. There I am. Same with Instagram, same idea, Saving Dinner right there. We've always got something new and different. It's not this stuff here, guys, by the way. A little bit different. Hi, Corliss and Joanne. Lynn is here. So glad you're here. Our Inner Circle group has a wait list for January. If it's something that's in consideration of something you want to do, going to the next level, being with a bunch of women who are excitedly embracing their lives and saying yes to the next thing, well, this is something you might want to consider. Check it out, savingdinner.com/circle. That's where we keep all that info. And by the way, speaking of tonight, now remember I said you need to have the journal. When you get the journal, you're also going to get some homework that goes with it. And it's basically dumping everything onto a sheet of paper of all the things that you want, and then figuring out how to put it into these categories to make it into goals that are attainable. And yeah, we're going to compress these. We usually do this 12 weeks at a time, but we're going to compress this into a doable 9 weeks, because I believe that's how many weeks we have left. I'm telling you, it is possible, and it's not piling on. It's not trying to make things hard. It's so that you stay conscious and here and not checked out into holiday land and doing all kinds of crazy things that will make you regret it later. Those who buy the journal are going to get the free holiday cheers plan. And if you want that, just only that, you can get that at savingdinner.com/cheer. But the cheers plan is I'm going to show you exactly how to do this, how to get through the holidays without completely undoing all the good that you've done all year long. Because that's what it happens all the time. Believe me, I hear the stories. And never done this before, I'm going to be introducing you to a brand new supplement called Carb Cutter. You heard it, Carb Cutter. We will have it available Thursday night for a brief period of time, and then we're taking it off. It'll be on the shop for a minute, and then it'll be coming off. Now, the reason we're doing this is, first of all, I don't think I've ordered enough. I seriously don't think I've ordered enough. Secondly, I've been studying this for the past 3 months. Third, I've been taking it for 2 months, and it's pretty incredible. There's studies involved in this. I'll tell you all about it. All about it. That's going to be tomorrow night, Thursday night. I'm going to share a study with you on why I started studying this in the first place. I'm going to give you all the details, and you'll have first grab at this. We'll have special pricing tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, you have to show up. savingdinner.com/go get your journal. Journal. Now, this is not permission, by the way, to go off the rails and be crazy. This is just like, maybe you had a little mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving or some pie or whatever without the damage. I'm dead serious. I will tell you all about it. All about it. I'm really excited about it. savingdinner.com/journal to go get your journal. And with that, you will get the homework assignment that goes with it. And I won't be able to get you the journal overnight, but I will be able to show you, we'll be able to get you there, at least to the class, and be able to be there for Carb Cutter. That's all. You're just going to want to do this. savingdinner.com/holiday to watch the holiday webinar that I put together. Just telling you a little bit about how we can compress the last of these weeks together into making our goals happen so that 2021 isn't a bust, and also to keep you on the rails so that you don't just throw away all that good work that you did this year, with some random holiday crazy eating. We don't need to do that. The other thing that I have to tell you about is our supplement of the week, which is supplement of the week is buy 2, get 1 free of the Core 4. The Core 4. Now, let me tell you, the Core 4 is core to the nutrients that every single woman on the planet needs. And they're very specific, they're well researched, and they work. I love the Core 4, would not be without them. Take them every day myself. So this is a great way to stock up, right, Carla? So smart, Carla. So smart. Go to savingdinner.com/show to get that and to go get stocked up on our Core 4. Really good way to do it. Diane says the journal is an amazing tool. You are right, Diane. The journal is an amazing tool, and it has everything in it to help you to do the work that you've been telling me you want to do for years. And I have a simplified way of getting to this place. People get overwhelmed by goals. People say, I hate goals. I don't like goals. I don't want to do goals. But you know what? That's because there's a lot of confusion that goes with them. And they're too intense, and they're too complicated, and it's too much. We drill it down. Drill it down. That's what I'm excited about. So you're going to want to be there tomorrow night, savingdinner.com. You will get an invitation to the workshop if you have the journal. So double check your email. If you're uncertain about it, send an email to support@savingdinner.com, and we'll make sure, one, you get the homework, and two, you get the opportunity. Here's the thing. Tomorrow night, I am going to take you through everything and help you to troubleshoot the places where you're stuck. I promise you I will. I get it. I understand it. But guess what? This is the thing. This is the thing. This is the way it all works out. Susan's right. The journal helps to keep you moving forward and not quit, because you're doing things in such a positive way, and you don't have 8 million goals. It just all works together. So I'm excited about that. Can you tell? Really excited about that. It's going to be the last one of the year. So, double check, get on it. If you don't have a journal, you can get one right now, and you will still be able to get something from this class. We record the classes if you can't come in, and you can watch it as many times as you need to. And I will tell you right now that what we're talking about today all dovetails into this, because we've been talking about this garbage quote, you know the one that I'm talking about, right? Anyone? Do you know the one that I'm talking about? You want to be it. You want to be it till you see it, not fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it's garbage. And we've talked about why. And now I'm going to roll this whole thing together, because wise women gather on Wednesdays, don't they? You do. You're here. Wise women know that living authentically is the only option. It is the only choice. We need to live authentically. Authentically means being genuine, being real, warts and all. Not perfect, but doing the best work that we possibly can with the lives that we have been given. That's what we can do. You have to understand, too, that authenticity, for authentic, first of all, is the quality of being genuine or real, while authenticity is of undisputed origin. I love that, of undisputed origin. In other words, you are the origin of that origin, right? It's all about you. And that's important, because without you, this world is different. Without you. You have a ripple effect on everything that it is that you do and say and that you are. And that's on purpose. Every single one of us have that kind of an impact on another person in this world. We all do. We don't live alone in these little buckets. We all live together, impacting one another. Isn't that an amazing thing to think about? Wrap your head around that one. I think it's just beautiful. The other thing is that we are not a copy of anything or anyone. We are our own genuine article. So to be authentic, you have to be, of course, true to yourself. Everyone else is taken. You ever hear that one before? You can't be someone else. You got to be you, because everyone else is taken. So that means being true to your values, your personality, your spirit, your ideals, not lining yourself up with someone else's. Here's the thing. I have oftentimes people say, well, what do you do, Leanne? What do you eat? What do you have? What are you this? And I know what that question is about, because if you're doing this, I'm going to do it too, because I've done that. And honestly, this is why I always say, here's your framework of what you need to do essentially, like for the Hot Milk Sprint. And then, last week I was doing a coaching client, and she said, I just don't like X, Y, and Z. And I said, then we're going to adjust it to do this instead. We're going to adjust it with what you do like. And guess what happens when we do that? That's when we get to go into the unique authenticity of who you are and customize this to fit you. You don't have to fit it. I'm going to repeat that. You don't have to fit it. It has to fit you, right? The good stuff anyway. We can't fake that part in. We can't say, that it's not going to work, that it's going to work, with Snickers bars in it. No, it's not. The big moving parts though, if there are parts that don't work for you, we can fix that. We can always fix it because it has to be customized to fit you. How do you like that? So your honesty is your moral compass. We know that. Your core values really are the things that we need to wear on our sleeves because that's who we are. And when you show up as you and not some copycat of someone else, you cannot help but be irresistibly loved for your authenticity, for your weirdness, for your goofiness, for your scars, for your sense of humor, for all your things. This is how we get secure in who we are, by understanding that we were put here on purpose and for purpose, and the way we are also on purpose and for purpose. Mm-hmm. You ever think about that? It's not to presto changeo all the time. Yes, we want to do things better. Yes, we want to get up to the next level. But all of that is living a life. That's really what it is. But we're being called to a genuine life. We're being called to authenticity. We're being called to live our very best lives, and we cannot do that unless we're being authentic. Think about that's a heavy statement, but it's so true. And it's all encompassing when you think about it, because sometimes we don't, maybe we'll say, God, I don't even know who I am. I don't even know what I'm about. I don't know how I feel about these things. I just know that I'm here. That's enough sometimes, because we need to have a starting place. But I know that wise women know this already, don't you? You do. I know you know this already. You know this already, and you practice this probably every day in your life, don't you? But psychologists tell us that authentic living shows up in 7 different ways. I'm going to go through these because I think it's important. Because maybe if you're thinking there and questioning, am I living an authentic life? Am I showing up? Am I being it so that I can see it finally in my life? Or is it a big charade? Am I faking it so much that I just don't even know who I am? Authenticity is the call on your life. And I'm going to give you 7 different ways that you can see how it shows up in your life. Number 1 is that authentic people have realistic perceptions of reality. In other words, they don't spin the truth to make it fit their bias. Now, we all to a degree do this. We look for things that support a bias that we have. But if we're going to be honest and we're going to drop the being rightness all the time, then we are going to seek the truth with everything that we have, even if we don't like it, because the truth will set you free. The Bible tells us this, and it tells us this in a number of ways. The truth will always set us free. The truth sets us free from so many things. When we finally know the truth and the light is on the truth, the darkness falls. We know that. So this is why we have realistic perceptions of reality. This is what goes on with people who are authentic, wise women like you, like me, showing up daily. Number 2, they accept themselves and they accept others, even when they may not understand someone else and what they're all about, even when they disagree with someone else and what they're all about. They're not intolerant. They're not ugly. They're not mean. They're not calling you sheep or some other gross thing. Yeah, I had somebody call me a sheep the other day. You're just a sheep. Am I? Well, bad to you. Why do people do that? Is it to make them feel better than, or one-upsmanship or whatever? But I just say that, you know what? You know what love is? It's to live authentically. You know what love is? It's to live with a full heart. You know what love is? Love is empathetically loving others, even when you don't get what they're about, even when you don't know why. It doesn't matter. They're a human being. They're called on purpose and for purpose too, weren't they? Why are they here taking up planet Earth? You know, why are they here occupying their little corner of the universe? Hmm? What if we started being a little bit more tolerant with others, aren't we? Aren't we all God's sheep and he calls us by name? Amen. Yeah, not goats. And separates the sheep from the goats. So okay. But there you go. Number two, they accept themselves and others. I just went through that. Number three, they are thoughtful. I love this one. You know, thoughtfulness shows up not just in gifts and lovely, oh, I remembered your anniversary or things like that. I mean, that's important stuff. I mean, doesn't it feel awful if somebody forgets or your husband forgets your anniversary or whatever? But they speak kindness. They think kind thoughts. They think inclusivity. Like, how do I bring this other person in? Does everybody feel included here? You know, this takes practice. We're not necessarily born to do this, but this is how we live authentically and true to the calling that's on our lives, I believe, because thoughtfulness is kind. Thoughtfulness is listening, it's consideration, it's caring. And without that, what happens? We start getting into that mean groove that's out there. It's mean out there. Awful, isn't it? Turn on the news and you'll see what I mean. Mark had the news on this morning. I said, you just have to turn that awfulness off. You just have to. And he's like, oh, well, I just want to see what, you know. And I said, okay, go ahead. And I just left the room, you know. I just left the room. I choose not to go there because I know what this is going to do inside of me. I don't need that. What I need is more of the stuff that is missing in this world. I need more of that. And I want to be the perpetuation of that. Have you ever thought about that? How can I offer more love? How can I offer more care? How can I live more authentically? How can I make sure everyone feels included? Have you thought about that? That is beautiful because that's the missing component. That's the missing element of what's happening. It isn't us versus them. It is us. And we all have our ugliness and we all have our blemishes, but we all have an opportunity to be beautiful human beings created on purpose and for purpose in a genuine, authentic desire to include all people and to allow for people we don't even agree with or we don't even have to hang out with them, but we don't have to be ugly. We don't have to be mean. We don't have to be wicked and speak ill of others. What has gossip ever done to help you? Anything? It sucks the energy out. It sucks the wind out. And we've talked about living high vibe versus low vibe lives. That is the lowest of lows, is to go into that place and to elevate yourself, and while you're putting others down. It's shameful. And I don't use that word lightly, but it is shameful. Number 4 is, this is a big one too. And this one I felt convicted about. Being funny without the passive aggressive edge. And I'm talking about toward yourself, toward others. No belittling, insulting, embarrassing, butt of the joke type stuff, passive aggressive stuff, put downs like this. Well, they're disguised hostility is what they are. Disguised hostility, but being funny, wink, wink. Do you think that's funny? I don't think that it has any place in an authentic life. Not even this much. Because when we're doing that, it's at the expense of someone else. Why? To elevate yourself so you can put someone else down? Yeah, we keep our senses of humor. I mean, we can be funny. As a matter of fact, Nancy loved my makeup tips. I saw that. Thank you for that, Nancy, by the way. She loved my after 60 makeup tips, which, by the way, you can only find it on TikTok. I did it on TikTok. But it's just, that was poking fun at myself. It was poking fun, but not that wasn't hostile. It was just funny. It was just being silly, Nobody got hurt. It wasn't aimed and to harm someone else. It was just saying, here we are after 60. I don't understand all this stuff. We can do that, but we can't do it at somebody else's expense. That's not right. Number 5, we are expressive. We're able to say, what's up? Right? Hey, how about this? We're able to also emote freely about what's on our hearts. That hurt me. You know what? I felt that was a little unkind. And we're careful with our words and saying it in a way so that we know that whoever is the listener, the recipient of these words, aren't going to feel put down, shut down, and disregarded and dismissed. Nobody wants to feel like that. Nobody does. But we need to be able to emote freely and clearly. We need to be able to express our feelings. We don't want to bottle them up and shut down and, hold a grudge or have hostility towards someone or think ill of them. Sulking. How about that for 5 years old, right? I don't think wise women behave like petulant children. I think wise women have gone beyond that and have seen themselves in a different light and hold themselves to a higher standard than that. Because doing so is to live authentically. Doing so isn't faking it. Doing so is being it. Amen? That's a pinkies up right there, by the way. Pinkies up. This is a level up of living a life that is authentically yours and a life beautifully lived, yeah, as well. Number 6, they're humble and able to admit they are wrong. When's the last time you admitted you were wrong? You know what? I was wrong about that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. You know what? You're right. You did that. You said that and I didn't listen to you. Or whatever it is. How many times have you done that? I think it should be part of our regular thing. I remember the very first time I did that with one of my children, and it just hit me like a ton of, I was short-tempered. I was unkind. I was sharp. Maybe my voice was a little bit too loud. Maybe. I'm sure it was. And I got down on eye level, and it was probably Caroline. And I said, Caroline, I am so sorry. And you remember when you talk to your children in third person, Mommy shouldn't have spoken to you that way. And I'll just never forget those little eyes looking at me like searching my soul. Searching my soul. Children bring you to that place, right? There's a naked honesty there. That's just amazing. It sears you, it goes right through you. And I will never forget that. I remember exactly where we were. We were in the kitchen when we lived in Costa Mesa. Peter was a baby and he was on his little bouncy car seat. And Caroline just would not leave me alone. And she's holding on to and I just finally just said, Caroline, stop it. And I just shook her off my leg. She fell on her butt and just started wailing. And it wasn't that she hurt herself. It was just that she couldn't get my attention. And I finally recognized this and I saw that. And I got down on her level and I looked her eye to eye and said this. She was barely 2. But there was that connection there and I got it for that minute. Not that I did it ever perfectly again after that. But it was just, how it is with children. It's a lot when you're raising babies. It's a lot. That doesn't dismiss us from humility. That doesn't dismiss us from admitting we're wrong. When we're in the trenches, we're in the trenches. But I believe with all of my heart that if we're willing to learn from those mistakes, those become less and less. And I do believe as I went on, they became less and less because I didn't want to be in that place of having to constantly tell my children that I was sorry for something that I did to hurt them. If I had to do it over again too, there's a lot of things I'd change, right? I mean, Isn't that what parenting is, by the way? Parenting is like, yeah, it's tough. But I will tell you that as women who are wise, living authentically means that we have the ability to pull back a little bit and to analyze and to figure out what goes into the experience file to teach us the lessons we need to learn and the stuff that needs to be tossed that we don't need to be reliving over and over again. We can do that, we can make that decision as we go. Noreen, you're right. Noreen says parenting is learning as you go. I always say it's like making pancakes, and sometimes you're too eager to flip the first one and it's not cooked all the way through. There's a lot to learn along the way. And you're responsible for these tiny humans, right? And thank God they're resilient as they are because, we mess up so much. Parenting is just a reflection of all the garbage that's inside of you still, I think. It's a mirror. But the thing is that we can analyze what's going on at any time. And if we have this as a habit of like, hold the phone, what's up here, we can pull back, we can analyze, we can pull the goods out that are going to serve us so that we don't find ourselves in the next time because we've learned a lesson. That's an important part. We don't need to roll around in the past and constantly trudge up all the dreadful memories of the trauma or whatever it is. But we do need to extrapolate what is the lesson that what can I take from this experience? Radical acceptance was one of my biggest things that I had from my own childhood that helped me to move on and not, and even from my adulthood, I have relationships with my siblings that I wish were better. And I have radically accepted that they are what they are. Radically. I'm not going to make up and spend my time in a place of making up what I wish it were and going to Fantasy Island. Instead, I'm going to stay with radical acceptance and love them up and pray for them and do the best that I can because that's all I can do. I've done everything that I can. That's all any human can do. And the rest, then we need to move on. There's other things to be done with that energy. You are called to this life on purpose and for purpose. Keep that first and foremost in your brain as you're going forward. And anything that holds you back from that, you need to rethink it. You need to rethink it. Seriously, if there's nothing that can be done about it, rethink it. Number 7, wise women have clear motivation for following a path. And I believe that is to do better, to be better, and to love more. To do better, to be better, and to love more. There is always room at my table for one more person. There is always room in my heart for more love. Always. And same with you. Because this is the call that was put upon our life by God himself when he called you into this earth. I want you to see yourself as that special woman. Because you are. I want you to see yourself as a woman here on purpose and for purpose because there's no other reason that you're here. That's huge. And if you're going to dwell on something, dwell on that. So that's what I have for you today. I was thinking about that a lot because we want to be living our lives in a way that is vibrant. We want to be living our lives in a way so that our lives can always be a reflection of God's love for us. What about that? If you're pouring yourself out and he's pouring yourself in, can you imagine that the beauty of that? That is a continuum that needs to happen to everyone around us. And if we're around it and we're helping to create it, then we're part of the solution and no longer a part of the problem. That's what we need to be doing. So let's start this creation, shall we? Let's create lives that are on purpose and for purpose. Let's create lives that reflect this love. We have a call, a heavy call on our lives. And it's up to you whether or not you're going to answer. And I don't know about you, but I'm answering that phone. I hope to see you tomorrow night for the journal workshop, because we're going to get into the weeds, and we're doing it. savingdinner.com/journal to get your journal. If you want to watch the webinar that goes with it, savingdinner.com/holiday. But I'm going to tell you what, tomorrow night, you're also going to be finding out all about carb cutter. I'm guessing you're going to want to be there. If you have any questions about that, send us an email to support@savingdinner.com. We'll give you the goods. Promise. I will see you tomorrow, Thursday, for Thirsty Thursday, and hopefully for tomorrow night. Thanks so much for joining me today. Peace be with you.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.